The following video may contain harsh content. Emotions may be triggered. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sounds like a plane crash.
Hey, Beth. What is that? Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a trade center.
The World Trade Center.
Number 2.
Yeah. This just in, you were
Matt just
looking
mentioned
at
we have a breaking
obviously
news
very
story to tell you
disturbing
about.
live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed.
As we come now, we have serious news of a major, a very tragic story right now. Incredible plane crash.
Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153. At the count of 3, everyone.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
David, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're looking at live pictures of the Pentagon where there is billowing smoke. Jim Miklashevsky just reported that he heard an explosion, and right now we're looking at an aerial view of the Pentagon.
There are reports that the Pentagon has been evacuated and the White House is being evacuated. Clearly, you're seeing now these pictures from Washington, D.C. as we try to determine.
All of the airports across the country have been shut down. All flights have been canceled, and for another...
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
These tridents were from the North Tower. They were recovered in the aftermath of the attacks. We brought them back here and basically built the museum all around them.
Joe Daniels is president and CEO of the 9/11 Memorial.
You're not whitewashing it. This is the raw, dirty material.
Exactly. I mean, this is the steel that bore the attacks.
The museum is built almost entirely underground, some 70 feet down. It sits in the precise footprint of the World Trade Center.
So this is exactly where the South Tower started and went up 1,350 feet.
A striking display of the sheer scale of the destruction, with poignant reminders of the tragedy at every turn.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
This is actually the front of this fire truck. This is the cab.
You wouldn't know.
Wouldn't know, and it's completely burned out and destroyed.
Then there's the retaining wall that remarkably held strong even when the towers fell.
When the towers came down, all that debris that was here, right in this space, provided bracing for that wall. And when that debris was cleared, there was a big concern that the wall would breach, would flood lower Manhattan.
It could have been so much worse. But this wall held under all of that pressure.
Visitors will also walk alongside the survivor stairs.
Used by hundreds of people as the buildings are crumbling, running from the dust cloud to escape to safety. And it's for all our visitors to understand the story of survival.
And likely one of the most emotional stops in the museum. This art installation mimics the blue sky on that fateful morning. Behind it, the still unidentified remains of 9/11 victims. The move met with mixed emotion from their families.
A still shocking statistic is that 1,100 family members never got any human remains back to bury, never got to go through the ritual of laying their loved ones to rest. It's not a public space at all. Only family members are allowed back behind the wall.
Right next door, a room dedicated to the lives of those lost.
Adjacent to this is the reflection room, which is so important, and why we can't show it and won't show it is because the families get to see it first.
Exactly. That room is in an area called In Memoriam, and it's a photographic portrait of each and every one of the 2,983 victims. You see pictures, a father coaching his son's Little League team, a wedding. You see the lives that were lost that day, and not just about how they died, it's who these people were.
Throughout the museum, chilling reminders of the day. Handmade flyers for the missing, a cross emerging from the wreckage. Everyday items simply left behind.
We help through these artifacts and images tell that story of just, it was panic and people were getting out as fast as they could.
And it's not just the shoes. It tells the shoes worn by this woman, Linda. I mean, you're telling everything about that day.
And while the museum is vast, one small exhibit has been the biggest source of controversy. Its focus, the terrorists themselves, including a film criticized for not making a clear enough distinction between Islam and Al-Qaeda.
There's been a lot of criticism. Why give any time to the terrorists?
You know, it's one way to look at it is you don't build a Holocaust museum and not be very clear that the Nazis were the ones who committed those atrocities.
It seems very appropriate that you end here at the last column.
And it's, again, goes right back to resiliency, seeing those messages of hope and remembrance on this very tall column that's still standing strong.
Kate Baldwin, CNN, New York.